We're getting sexy in Miami. It's another edition of KFC Radio, live from the hot tub. It's brought to you by Roman. John just peed in this tub. I have not.
I
have not yet peed, of course but I will. I mean, if you put me in a body of water, I'm peeing. If you put me in a very hot body of water, I'm peeing a lot.
It was immediate. My toe touched this. I was like, oh, time to piss.
Time to pee. You were like, that was so funny. We got footage of it. We'll put it on Twitter. You were like, I'm going to pee in this hot tub. I was like, oh, yeah, I know. Don't worry. I will, too, as soon as I have to. But also, do you think anyone's had sex in this hot tub?
Yeah. If no one's had sex in this hot tub, I will be so incredibly disappointed. I mean,
I think
there's a 0.
Maybe millions of people.
There's a 0% chance that no one's had sex.
How many people do you think have had sex in here? I think like hundreds, thousands.
Hundreds at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hotel is, but it depends on that. But I mean, most of the people who have stayed in this room have had sex in this hot tub.
You think that more people pee in the water or have sex in the water?
Pee.
Yeah, but in Miami, it's probably like
pee. You gotta. I mean, the second you get in here, you gotta pee. You just have to pee. I didn't even have to pee. Like when you knocked on my door earlier tonight, when you were like, you ended up texting me, you let me in. The reason I didn't answer on the knock is I was taking a shit, and I peed during that, and I haven't even done anything. So I haven't had a single drink or anything.
Your body mustered up
I just peed again.
some sort of fucking.
It's like, oh boy, there's a party. Gotta piss.
Well, if you are in a hot tub, two things I know: you can't get pregnant, right?
True.
Can't get an STD, and you should be using your Roman swipes to make sure that you last longer to have good sex with your partner. You open up the Roman swipe, you wipe it on your dick, you desensitize your penis so that it can go in and out of the vagina a little more often, a little more frequently, a little longer, and your sex will last longer. As you use Roman swipes, your body will become used to sex lasting that long, and eventually you'll actually puke. You've fallen over, huh?
I can't.
You gotta lean all the way back or sit all the way up.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I can't get comfortable.
If you sit up in this hot tub, just normally, and lean back, you just go down.
Right immediately.
Now my pee, your pee is in my mouth now.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Now your pee is in my mouth.
Like, there's not that much water in this hot tub. It's like a lot.
It's like 1% your pee.
There's this.
It's less than that. It's a lot less than that. But
it's like a noticeable amount of is my pee.
Fuck. Go to GetRoman.com/KFC. When you sign up for a monthly subscription, you get your swipes for just $5. Look at Miami Hammy with that hair curl there.
Dude.
Nick looking fucking fly as fuck.
Been on fire.
Got the shirt on. The hair's looking good. You put up a sexy Instagram of yourself earlier that got no likes on Instagram.
It's crazy. Like, people are downright just not liking that because I look too good. It's insane. I did my take on the beach, and Blattman took a bunch of pictures, and he was showing me them, and there were like 7 of them, and I looked good in every single one of them. And I was like, am I just good looking? What's going on? What is this about?
Why is this happening?
I might just be a hot person, but I'm not. But the likes on Instagram quickly reminded me.
You had 11 likes in 30 minutes.
It does. That's crazy.
I got the giggles right now, man. It's been a long day, and I'm finding that very funny. I mean, 11 likes in 30 minutes.
That's insane.
A like every 3 minutes,
That's
dude.
some like 400 follower person shit.
He got so excited.
I'm verified on Instagram. You talking about I have 11 likes in a half hour?
He kept looking at it, thinking there was going to be more. There just wasn't.
There weren't more likes. There's 11 likes in a half hour.
I'd rather have 0 likes.
I would too. It's like 0 likes. I'm gonna be like, oh, it's broken. No, it works.
11 likes.
Because no one's
don't
liking
you. Man, I'm fucking. It's been a long day, man. I'm tired. I'm out of it. I'm drinking your pee. It's ugly, man. Big news today. 450 million. I felt like it was LeBron James when I was talking to Dave. Not 100, not 200, not 300, not 400. $450 million, which I've said a couple times today, and I will reiterate again. It makes me question the company buying us. That is way too much money. What are you guys doing? Swear to God, you could have had it for a fourth of that. Swear to God. 450 million, you idiots. But I'll take it. I'll fucking take it, man. I have supreme confidence that Dave and Penn will do the right thing and take care of my boy Feidelberg too. And so you are listening to two future rich men. Not currently rich men. We're the only people who still aren't rich, but we are gonna be rich, which might be the worst spot to be in.
Why?
Because, like, you're in no man's land. You know?
See, I don't know. Like, I'm in no man's land. Like, I don't know.
It's like being skinny fat.
I'm in no man's land as it. I don't know. You're good.
You're going to be good, too.
I'm in no man's land.
I told you this. I'm going to give you money either way. So you're good. So it's like being skinny fat. If you're broke, you just find happiness. You just, like, take pleasure in other things. If you're rich, life's awesome. When you're like, I'm going to be rich in 5 years, it's a long time to be like, well, what do I fucking do here? Do I buy that shit now? Do I go on a trip now? You know what I mean? Like,
that's actually my favorite part of all of this. Which, first of all, like, when people think I get congratulatory texts and DMs and things like that, and I'm like, thank you, but whatever.
Yeah.
But one of them was from Scott Van Pelt, and SCP reached out, and I want to be very clear about something. Scott Van Pelt is the kindest, awesomest, coolest person in the world. He might legitimately be the coolest, nicest, kindest, rich person in the world. It's
like, for someone of his ilk and his success to still be the way he is, it is remarkable.
There are so many people who ask me, you know, like friends and stuff like that, like, oh, you know, you meet celebrities who you like, whatever. Number one, all the time, is Scott Van Pelt. He is as cool and nice and fucking awesome and genuine as it gets. But he just sent me a text where it was like, you know, fucking congrats, you know, proud of you, you know, blah, 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 blah. But he ended it with, but can you please improve your bed situation? And
Your boy Feits needs a new bed.
I was like, yo, I love you. Thank you so much for reaching out. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not changing anything.
No.
And I think that perfectly highlights everything, why Barstool's successful. I'm not fucking changing. What do you mean? Like, I'm going to get a different apartment because I'm not rich?
The only thing that'll help me is, my kids will be easier, but, like, my actual life, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, when I found out the news, I was just like, wow. It was more about my sense of accomplishment of, like, we saw this all the way through. And I wrote this in my blog today.
I haven't read it. I'm scared to read that.
It's corny and fucking mushy and shit.
I'm scared to read because I'm going to cry.
Yeah, I got a little emotional when I was writing it. I had a moment when
I'm definitely going to cry. I'm going to cry, a little bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to cry.
Yeah, you probably are. You little bitch. You're going to cry, bitch. But I had a moment when everything fell apart for me where I was like, well, I have to make sure Barstool works.
Right.
Because Barstool was an element of why my marriage went south, and, you know, more of it just me being, you know, my own personal whatever. But that the job definitely was a problem. And then when it, you know, kind of cost me something, I was like, well, now if this doesn't work, it's all been for nothing. So I got to make sure this works. And while it was the gambling and shit that put us over the top, and that's nothing directly that I have involvement with, I was, you know, we made sure we put out ATI, the video series, the card game, took KFC Radio on the road. We did merch. We did, the podcast is up like 33%. We did all we could. And I'm just happy to, like, see that through and know that I did everything I could, and that I can at least say, like, well, personally, I don't know, but professionally, I do know. I do know that I went fucking all out, and it worked. It fucking worked.
That's the best part of it, where it was like, I was talking to my dad. You were on radio today. You stayed around after CZK. You stuck around for a bit, and I was still at the bar. And I called my dad, and he knew, obviously. Like, I told him before this, but this is my first time talking to him since it's been official. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he's like, you did this. Like, I remember coming into, like, and you know, he's talking to me personally, but obviously everybody. Yeah. But he's like, I remember, because my dad did our insurance.
Oh, wow, that's right.
For, like, the Blackout Tour and stuff like that. So my dad would come to the office a lot to meet with Dave.
Right.
And he's like, I remember walking through that shithole of an office.
Yep.
Lights were out. You look awful. You know, everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you fucking did it.
It fucking happened.
And it's like,
I talked to my dad, and he group texted me and my brother, and I said, you know, thanks for, like, letting us take the risk, because I bailed on a good job. My brother bailed on like my dad's career. Like my brother was doing what he does, and I'm sure he had plans for him, you know. Right. And it was funny. I remember my brother being nervous to tell my dad, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Go, dude! Like get out of here and go do some fun shit." And he said back to me, he's like, I said, "Thanks for letting us take the risk." And he's like, "More like you guys having the balls to do it." So I feel like
it's both. Like,
yeah,
I think
he's underplaying.
Where, like, I did what I did, which is work for $400 for a month for a company that does fucking few people knew about, and I did that because if it didn't work, I was still okay.
Yeah, you could have.
Look, I was
the right
lucky.
time. Yeah,
right. Like, it was,
I mean, that's why I tell people it's easier said than done. But if you're gonna take a risk, you got to do it now, because when you are.
But I still don't think I've ever taken a risk.
You say that. I mean, you haven't risked it, but you didn't.
But I think that's what comes from, we're gonna use
maybe it's not a risk, but
like,
to work.
I was good, right? Like if it didn't work, I was okay.
Yeah, but for you to personally work for $400, you might have been good from your parents or whatever, but that would not have lasted forever. And you were at least willing to say, "I'm going to work for peanuts for a decent amount of time to see it through."
I still remember, dude. Do you remember this when it was like I was now like working at Barstool like full time, and but I still was getting paid not full time. I was still getting like,
right.
and I don't even mean full time money. I just mean like, yeah, I do, but like full time money then much different than what full time money now is.
Right.
But like I still wasn't making like a livable salary.
You had normal human money.
Right. And you went to bat for me.
Oh yeah.
And Dave asked you, he goes, "What are you, his fucking agent?"
Yes, I do remember that.
You're like, Fights, like he runs Barstool New York.
Right.
Now.
He was like doing a full-time fucking job. What, he was fucking agent. I remember being like, "Oh, all right, I'm gonna shut my fucking mouth." Yeah, there's a couple times where I would speak up and be like, "Oh, wait a minute, I have no say here." Yeah. It's wild. We are very self-deprecating and pessimistic and all that shit, but it is undeniable that what we just pulled off, very few people in human history have done. It's crazy.
I mean, that, like you saying that hit different, if you will.
There is an infinitesimal number of people who have worked in this world and turned like something into nothing into something, and taken like a small time thing and turned it into a $450 million company. And everybody has varying degrees of involvement and varying degrees of reasoning. But it's like obviously Dan and Dave are spearheading this like frontward facing thing. But without the Blackout Tour, we fucking go under. So everyone who had a hand in the Blackout Tour gets props for this. Without Saturdays of the Boys, we don't expand and hire a zillion people. So you get credit for that. Without podcasts, who knows? No churning, no this. Like every step of the way, if you had any involvement, it's not just the gambling thing. It's not just the main people. It's anybody who had any hand in any step of the way that kept Barstool from going under, because there was a lot of fucking times it could have.
Almost all the time.
More often than not, we were like, "Oh shit."
There were times in the early times where Dave would call me like, "I can't afford to pay you this month." I'm like, all right, figure it out. And again, I whenever I bring that up, I always do give huge credit to Dave, because it was paid afterwards. There was back pay, but it was, "Hey, I can't pay you this month."
In the moment, yeah.
Right.
And that's, again, we're not talking about a normal salary. We're talking about $400. Yeah. So for someone to be like, $400 is make or break for me right now, and you're running a company, it's pretty fucking nuts.
Dude, fucking, it's awesome. It's so
awesome. It's so dope.
When you think about like all the things, when you talk about like Saturdays the Boys, Barstool Sports has done so many things that are so fucking cool and so huge.
If you were involved in any individual thing, it's awesome. And we were involved in all of them.
There have been so many like little brands in this fucking company. It's fucking crazy, man. It's
the amount of people we came across, the places we went, the experiences we had, the amount of people we reached, the problems we fixed, the laughs we created, the laughs we had. It's fucking staggering.
But that's also...
And we're 30, you know what I mean? I'm 35. Like, it's not like we're, all right, we did it and we're going to die tomorrow. It's like, well, we did it, and there's still a lot of life left. There's still, like, a lot more to go. And that's what's crazy, by the way, is, like, it feels like the finish line for, like, phase 1, but that's, on to phase 2 now. It's like, who fucking knows what's next?
I was talking to my mom about, all this and all kinds of everything. And one of the things she said was, she's like, I'm so happy, I'm so proud, blah, 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 blah. But she's like, keep your feet on the ground. And I was like, well, I don't, easy for me. And I said that it's easy for me to do that because, my brain understands that I should be proud and happy and all that, but, I'm not. I know I should, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're just not feeling it, right. But that's the right feeling, yeah.
And she goes, yeah, that's smart. Keep the disconnects in your brain disconnected. And I was like, you really are my
Ollie
mother.
Feits. Keep the disconnects in your brain disconnected.
I mean, that's a 10 out of 10 line.
You know
that's
what?
A 10 out of 10 line from Paul.
It's brilliant, and it's interesting. I totally subscribe to it in one regard. I said in my blog, though, part of the reason why I think I got caught up in a situation where my work life was not compatible with my home life was because I did not admit to myself what Barstool was and what it was going to be. And it's not like I knew and I was telling myself otherwise. I really did not expect this. I don't. You did?
I always knew.
You knew it was going to be
is it this level of media company? We're going to have a hotel and all that shit?
Right.
No.
But you knew it was going to be a lifelong job sort of thing?
When it was just Dave, I knew.
Really?
I knew, yeah.
You just faith in him, or
that's
what?
That's why I fucking worked for $4 a month. I knew.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never thought when I left my job, I was like, this probably won't work, and I'll just go back to it. And then when I got into it, I was like, this is, there's something here. But I never allowed myself to think further than that, and I should have, because I would probably handle things differently if I was in 5 years, we're going to be this level.
Yeah.
Probably would have done some things differently. Or probably would have had some different discussions. Who knows if other people would have been treated, did things differently. But I was not I feel like Dan and Dave were we're going to be famous, we're going to be rich, we're going to be at the top. And I was always just we'll see where we end up.
Yeah.
Hope for the best, plan for the worst. And they were kind of plan for the best and fucking go get it and act accordingly. And I probably should have done that more. But, it's I think that's where the self-deprecation, the jokes, the pessimism, it's all fun and games, and then I think that came back to bite me in the ass a little bit. I wish I was more serious about it, where I was there's a reason why all these followers are here. I mean, even to this day, sometimes I look at people and I'm like, I have way more followers than them. Why? What the fuck? And it's because this is a big fucking deal. And
it still doesn't make sense. But it's still it's
starting to make sense. It's the new sense. It's the new the younger generation, the people growing up in it, makes perfect sense to them. Oh yeah, Barstool Sports, he's bigger than XYZ on TV or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
true.
From an old generation where we're not
yeah.
used to that, but that is the case. So I mean, we last podcast I told this story about the Ron Artest tweet. People getting upset about the Ron Artest tweet, the what she sees versus what you see meme, and I got a text right after that podcast. Dave texted me and was like, that Kobe porn thing was really weird. I was like, Kobe porn thing? What the fuck is that? And I'm sitting here thinking, is it an old KFC radio question? Would you fuck Kobe or da-da-da? Did somebody put out a tweet or a picture or something? And then I realized he's talking about the Ron Artest picture. And I was like, oh, yeah, shit, man. That was just a funny picture. I thought a weird way for him to do a tribute. So I did that thing. And he was like, yeah, it just seems a little weird. And I was like, well, it's just a common meme. And he was like, yeah, I just don't get it. And I feel if I don't get it, then there's a lot of people who don't get it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to delete it.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's not my baby.
Tied to this fucking tweet. I don't give a shit.
It didn't get a lot of retweets. It wasn't bad one way or the other. It was a normal tweet. There was some backlash, but there wasn't anything crazy. There wasn't crazy engagement. I deleted it. But then I'm like, shit, do we have to change the podcast? And I realized the whole first segment was about that. So I was like, well, I ain't going back to work. We ain't recording a new podcast, so fuck it. The next morning, I get a text from Dave, let's go get a coffee. I don't think that's happened ever for me.
Did you drink coffee?
No.
You
Neither
drink water.
I don't think he did either. We just sat at a table and no waiter even came over. Really? But I don't think we've ever had a serious conversation in person like that because we were in separate places for so long.
Right.
So everything was over the phone or over email because we were in New York and Boston. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I'm in trouble for a Ron Artest tweet. I haven't gotten in trouble like this since fucking 2011. This is 10 years ago shit. And I expected him to be listen, I get it. I don't really care, but we're on the verge of something big, so don't fuck it up. And instead, it had absolutely nothing to do with the tweet. And he was just so, you may have heard, and it's real. And I was like, holy fuck. And when he said 400, when I heard that F, I was like, 450 million what? 450 million pennies? Dollars? What's going on? I mean, that number is absolutely a joke. And it was like the nicest that me and Dave have been on. We've been on good terms in the beginning, bad terms in the middle, and kind of just like no terms recently. It's just like everybody's a well-oiled machine. We see each other on the rundown. He doesn't bother me. I don't bother him. We get along when shit goes down, but obviously for the most part, we're just kind of like two different people. And this was like the nicest he's been to me, or just the most interaction we've had, text message wise. I think it was because he thought it was a well-kept secret. Clearly not. So he thought like
I still don't think he understands that Barstool Sports is like a high school.
I mean, he doesn't. It's the most gossipy place on earth.
Like everyone gossips the entire time.
Everything. So yeah, like everybody knew, but I think he thought, me and Dan were like the only ones you could talk to. So he kept like firing texts off to me and shit. I was like, this is wild, man. This is like 2009 shit back when we were like first out. What do you make of this rat situation? Do you believe in it?
It's probably my mom.
Let's go through the odds of who the Barstool Sports rat might be. It's brought to you by Blue Vine. Now, Blue Vine is a company that's going to help you get that money. And to be honest, I still got to wait a little while to get my money. So I might need Blue Vine. I mean, everybody thinks that I got that paper, boy. And it's going to be about 3 to 5 more years before I see anything. So any way that I can take out a loan or reduce my financial burden in any way, shape, or form, I might have to take advantage of it. And so I'm happy to announce that Blue Vine is our newest sponsor. Whether you're running a business of any sort or need money, securing a cash flow is difficult, but it doesn't have to be. Through Blue Vine, getting a line of credit is fast, easy, and simple. So, listen, I'm going to hit up the bank and be like, yo, I got this shit coming.
So,
okay?
Yeah, in 5 years.
It counts, okay? It's not here yet, but it still counts. And Blue Vine makes it easy. It's a fast way to help support your business growth with a line of credit up to $250,000. Whether you need to offset upfront costs, whether you need to secure inventory, pay an unexpected expense, Blue Vine can help you, yourself, and your business stay secure for any reason at all. Go to getbluevine.com/KFC. Fill out a few simple details, and you're done with the application. Takes just minutes. It will not affect your credit score, and once it's approved, you can get funds as fast as 24 hours. You can have peace of mind knowing that you can get funds in the click of a button. A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Over $2.5 billion has been given out to over 20,000 customers. And right now, you can get a promotion with a $100 gift card when you take out a loan or open a line of credit with Blue Vine. Go to getbluevine.com/KFC and apply, and you'll get yourself a $100 gift card when you take out a loan or a line of credit. I don't think about these things. I really don't. And this is why I got myself in trouble with Barstool. Like, I never took the time to think about my situation, look what's in front of me, and be like, what is happening here? And Dave was the one who said to me, like, if you need cash right now, you can go to a bank and get a loan based on this, And I just, like, didn't even think of that. And I'm not dire for cash. It's not like I need it. But, like, I could, and I just don't think about it. Like, I wouldn't think about going to Blue Vine. It's like, the hardest thing in the world to get is money, and there's a company that's just like, we'll help you get it.
We'll just give it to you.
We make it very easy. We'll just give it to you, and you can get $100 for free. Get bluevine.com/KFC. So there's a concern about a rat. And here at Barstool Sports, that could mean the literal animal, or it could mean the figurative behavior of a person.
That's what I thought. I thought it was the animal.
You thought it was the animal?
I was thinking it was the animal.
Now, I mean, it's been rats in the office. It's been rats chewing through wires. We have a long-running history with rats. But this one, we're talking about someone leaking information. We had a conference call 2 nights ago at 10 p.m., where we disclosed the information to the entire company. And by midnight, it was in the Wall Street Journal, leading people to believe there is a rat. I mean, there's obviously some sort of a leak. I don't think it's a rat. I think this is a poorly kept secret.
I think it's poorly kept.
And I think somebody told a friend, who told a family member, who told a friend, and next thing you know, someone who already knew something was in the works writes the story.
But I guess
because Penn National was already out there. There were already blogs about it. Now it was just details.
Yeah, and I still don't know the details, so that's how I'm out. I'm out on the. I can't be the rat because I still do not know the details.
I think details were in the conference call. I know the number was not announced at the conference call.
I was not on the conference.
Maybe
we were at the Heat game. You and Nick got up to leave. I, being a huge basketball fan, said,
you were swag surfing.
I can't miss my C's.
You got to see Kelly Olynyk.
I gotta be. I'm sitting behind Udonis Haslem. Like
that's right. I can't believe that guy still suits up. I thought he was an assistant coach.
I did not know he's still in the league. So I wasn't on it.
I don't know if the business conference call was different, but I specifically know they did not mention the number because after we got off our conference call, my brother was like, they didn't even say the number. Like, that was anticlimactic. People don't even know that it's $450 million. That's like the big announcement. And so it couldn't have been anybody on content if that was part of the details. Is $450 million big?
Like, I mean, obviously I know it is, but like, is it that?
Yeah.
It's like that kind
That's
of
a
crazy?
big number. That's a big number. I mean, I got a call from one of the churning guys, and he was like, and I could hear like the honesty in his voice. He was like, "This is a big deal. This is very unique. This is very rare, and you should be very proud." He's like, "Companies don't turn around this."
Are you proud?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And I do know. I mean, I do feel like I kind of gave. I mean, I know I gave it my all. Professionally, personally, I became completely consumed with Barstool Sports, intentionally and unintentionally, for better, for worse. Sometimes it was great. Sometimes I wish I was a little less. But I absolutely, if it didn't work, I would have been okay. I would have been like, well, then like that's the way the world was meant to be.
Yeah.
I never thought. I didn't go all out.
No, I'm 100% with that, and I feel like and we used to always talk about how it's like we don't go on vacation, we don't do anything, right. But I don't feel proud. I just feel like I was me, and
well, yeah, that's the thing
is
that
people like it.
You know what? It's hard. I think it's hard for us to accept that what we do is a talent. So we don't feel like we're doing anything special.
Right.
When, like, I guess, I don't know. I think most people just don't try.
Yeah. If you
press record, talking to a mic.
It's fucking really easy.
Like, if you have conversations and laugh with your friends, you can do what we do. Yeah. Straight up. We just did it. You know, like, I don't know if athletes or entertainers feel like does fucking Adele go home and be like, I'm so proud, or is she just like, I don't know, I can just sing.
Yeah, that's easy
I can
for
just
me.
sing. Yeah.
That's just
easy. It's Matt Damon. This shit is easy to me.
Whatever. Like, I don't know. I guess this is the thing that people like,
right?
And I'm so fucking happy. Like, I don't mean to belittle what we do, but I'm gonna belittle it real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm so thankful for listeners. I'm so happy for everybody. But like, I don't know. I'm just being like, this is easy for me.
It's. I'm not even.
What I'm doing is not impressive,
guys. I'm not even trying. I'm not trying. You know how much prep I do for shows? Zero. I used to do prep when I was younger, and then when we had the radio show, I would like give a rundown, and then I just stopped doing that, and I just like, I don't know.
It's better when you don't.
Yep.
By the way, can we talk about real quick? Can I interject about, since we're talking about no plans, soundtracks for books? I've been telling everyone about this.
Are you sure you want to do this on the podcast? Are you sure? Are you sure you're ready?
We'll finish this, but
I just want to. I'm gonna talk a little bit more so you can think on whether you want the world to actually know this idea, because they're gonna steal it from you.
Yeah, good. Hopefully.
It's pride in the sense of like the hard work. It's not.
I worked really hard. I
feel lucky. I don't feel like I earned it. I just feel like I was in the right place at the right time. I answered. I sent the email. I wrote the blog. I took the chance, but that's it.
Like, yeah. Like, I wish I felt like really. I don't know. I go. It's very weird. I go back and forth and back and forth. Like I was talking to my dad on the phone, and I was crying. Like, I was at the bar just straight up crying.
You're a little bitch boy.
Because he was like, be proud, and hearing that from your dad is a little different.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it was like, but I'm also like, I'm like, in my heart of hearts right now, I'm not like.
Pride is not the right. Yeah. No, I think I am like that, but I'm like this. Here's what I am. I'm like, we did it, and I'm so happy and lucky that it was me and not the next guy, because it could have easily been. It's all about timing. I said this on the radio. From Dave starting when he started with the rise of the internet, from Barstool getting on the internet when Boston Dynasty started, to all the way up to gambling being legalized when it did. If those things don't happen in Dave Portnoy's lifetime, This just doesn't happen.
Right.
There's been a million Dave Portnoys. They existed in the fucking 1500s, and they were just like, I don't know, I got jokes. It's nothing more than sheer fucking luck. Well, this is here. Okay, this was interesting. I got to give it to that fucking idiot Kirk Minahan. Dave Portnoy is now one of the most successful humans. One of the most successful humans ever, right? We're talking top 0.00000 million zeros 1%. He's an idiot, right? He's a dummy.
I never know with Dave, and I still don't know, and that's the point.
Right, so that's what I mean. He's either the dumbest smart person, the smartest dumb person. He's street smart, not book smart. He's lucky combined with persistent, all that shit, yes. So do you think, like Kirk was like, is that what Walt Disney was? Like we're Walt Disney's friends.
Wasn't he a fucking Nazi?
Yeah, he just hated Jews.
Yeah.
But you know, all of these wild success stories, are their friends being like, Walt?
Oh, definitely.
Steve Jobs? That guy? He was a clown. He was like a total moron.
Of course.
You think so?
And if your friends thinking like, and if your friends don't say that, then like you don't have good friends. Like friends should not be impressed with their friends because I don't know, I just feel like you should be you.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I'm just saying, I used to think that in order to get to $100 million, you had to be like a savant, like on the spectrum, like your brain needed to be. I guess as I say that, I think about, you know, there are people who fall ass backwards into it. But I thought, you know, if you're gonna be a normal guy and get to that, you've got to have something about you. And I mean, I guess maybe Dave's determination or whatever. I don't know. What do you think Dave's best trait is that led to this?
He's funny.
You think that? I don't know.
I think
There's
funny.
so
I
many
think
funny
funny
guys.
is the most important. It's so many funny, but that's what reigns supreme. If anyone talks about Dave, you would say he's funny, right? Yeah. It's like anything with like if you talk about exes and stuff like that, right? Like you can get over someone you loved. You can get over someone who fucked you like crazy. You never forget funny.
Yeah.
Funny, you know, if you fuck funny, it stays with you.
Because that shit's like dopamine, man. When you start laughing and you're having a good time, you're
fun,
a happier person.
And fucking funny stays with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if anyone, like, you know Dave Portnoy? Oh, yeah, he's hilarious.
Funny dude.
That's not like, oh, yeah, he's a genius. Oh, yeah, he's smart.
Right.
Like, he's hilarious. I think funny is the most important. Now,
But
you need other
things.
things.
But even that, I don't think, like, I think of Dave Chappelle, you know, is like this brilliant genius funny. Dave is funny in a way, it's like he's going to say Macaulay Culkin, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. And I don't know why. So during my valleys with me and Dave's relationship, the peak and valleys, the valleys, I would be like, this motherfucker is just like dumb. He's just saying dumb things and people are laughing. He's not crafting jokes or planning things out. He would just be like, you know, he'd ask a stupid question or say a dumb thing, and it was just so genuine that people laughed at it. Whereas if I said Macaulay Culkin wrong, people would be like, just say his name right, asshole. And instead, everyone else just said, I'm going to call him Macaulay Culkin too. So I think it's funny combined with this je ne sais quoi, where it's just like, I don't know why, it just works for him. And that's why it doesn't work for anybody else. That's why I don't think anybody else could pull it off. And not just Dave. I think it was the perfect assembly of people. Maybe minus plus or minus 5 or 10 people. He said something today. I don't know if he's ever said it before. Dave said, he also said something I don't believe is true. Dave said, he would not accept a deal if the company wasn't fully on board with keeping everybody and doing everything his way. I feel like if those guys were like, we'll give you $400 million, but you got to cut I don't know, 20% or something. I think he's doing it. And I wouldn't begrudge him. He should.
I can't speak for Dave. I'd speak for me.
You gone. Yeah. But he said, as he was saying that, he was like, I'm pretty. You know, he was being self-deprecating, but he was basically saying, I'm very loyal, and he said, and that's why nobody leaves here. And I never thought about...
I agree with that.
But I never thought to myself, I'm not going to leave because Dave Portnoy is loyal to me. But it's why. It's like subconsciously and literally and deep down emotionally, probably why was me because the thought of me going to Dave and being like, yo, I'm out, that conversation would have been like, are you fucking kidding me? You're going to leave, you know?
Dave and I have had our... Actually, Dave and I don't know. I just kind of say that out of... I don't know, habit, but Dave and I have never had a problem ever. Mm-hmm. Dave and I have always been good.
Yeah, we never.
We're good. But yeah. I've always known 100% Dave's got me.
Yeah.
And I've always 100% gone to bat for Dave. In private conversations, I'm at a bar or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? He's a fucking good guy.
Yeah.
It's never been a question for me. I've never. There's plenty of podcast tape of me.
Yeah.
Just fucking sewering myself. Be like, I'm not going anywhere. And that's definitely because they've made me comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a different relationship with him because of the rundown, and there was so much exposure where he was daily just shitting on us, where people would be at the bar and be like, "Yo, did you really hate Dave?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah." And half of it was like, "Let's keep the fucking keep kayfabe here," but part of it was also like, "Yeah, I don't know, fuck the guy," like we just got off the phone and he told me I owe him my life and all that shit. That used to bug me and never to the point that I would like be like, "I'm out of here, I don't like you," but I used to be like, "Come on, man, it's just like a two-way street. Like I helped you get out of Boston, you gave me things, I gave you things," but when things are good, when he admitted on radio, he said that prior to the Chernin deal, he knew that me and Dan were like at our end of our rope with him. I didn't know that he like ever even knew that.
You didn't realize he registered it?
Yeah. I thought, he's just so... I think Dave is, I think Dave, and he would admit it himself, he's a narcissist. And not in like a terrible way, but just in a way of like, he's just always thinking about him. And in a way, he's actually looking out for everybody else by making sure he's good,
Yeah.
So it's not like in a selfish way, but I just wouldn't even think that he would know who hates him and who doesn't like him and who's good and who's bad. I could see him being like, oh yeah, Kevin and Dan love me, just like everybody else. What do you mean, And not even getting that we were kind of like... Man, this is tough. Like every fucking day, this is tough. But was there ever like a vibe in the Milton office where people like knew that, or was anybody ever talking about like, oh boy, those guys don't get along anymore?
No.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised to hear him admit it, because like if it was talked about,
I knew
I'd get it.
Because we talk. But
yeah.
Dan had mentioned things, but like.
Yeah,
no, it was never like, oh boy, this is where everyone's at their wits' end.
They've always been good, whether by design or by luck. I remember like early on when I was getting a little bit fed up, like I got a raise. He bumped me up to like $75,000, and I was like, all right, I'm good. And I reset the clock, and I was happy again. And then a couple years go by, and when I was ready to jump out the window, Chernin came along. And even now, we were in a good spot, and I was like, all right, KFC Radio is just like going to be its own enterprise like forever now. We're good. But I was kind of like, what happens now? And then boom, like it's always been perfect timing. It's always been when I'm like, oh shit. For me at Barstool, it's always been the worst timing. Like every time I needed to go away, something bad happened, or every time I needed to do a pod, like there's always just like something kind of standing in my way, just making it inconvenient. But all of Barstool in general, it's like the best timing ever. As far as micro timing for me is not so good. Macro has been like fucking great. It's like everything lined up month after month, year after year. So yeah, man, it's crazy. Now we just gotta go. It's just like now we just keep doing what we do though. Now it's just like all right, back to work.
Yeah. So like I said, that's it. Like,
now we gotta start.
I'm not getting a new bed. Nothing changes. Absolutely. Like it sounds like absolutely nothing changes.
Except that people just, oh man, let me tell you something. Bad day to not have your contacts in your phone. The amount of people texting me like, "Hey, congrats!" And I had to say to every single one of them.
How often you text me asking for someone's phone number? Yeah, or like, who is this?
Yep. I get a lot of texts, man. I didn't realize it until I didn't have my fucking contacts, and now every person I had to be like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Who is this?" That's a text. I have a perfectly valid reason. I did restore my phone. I did lose my contact. When you get the who's this text, it's disrespectful. It stings.
It stings.
You're definitely like, what the fuck?
Like, you get it. Things happen. Like,
Do you?
At this point, it's like it happens.
I don't know.
Often.
I think the opposite. I think I'm like the first person in 10 years to lose their contacts.
You know what? I lose my contacts every time I get a new phone.
You don't have your shit backed up?
This for some reason this phone I did, but every other phone besides that no. But I think last episode I was talking about living life like an anthology series.
Yep. Phones are anthologies.
I literally got 3 texts.
Really?
3 texts.
That's good though. I like that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
By 3 best friends. Congrats, dude.
That's fucking the way to be.
Literally,
man.
all 3 of them said congrats, dude. No
That's
punctuation, no nothing.
Yeah, and you're just like,
it.
thanks, man. Whatever.
Word.
Yeah. What's up? How you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I've also been, I wrote the blog about it, and I was like mushy about it and shit. I'm sure if you like made a point to say like how much you're affected by it, it would be a different story.
I'm not affected by it.
If you were, that's what I mean. It's just, your friends and people follow your lead. And they're like, yeah, John's good, I'm good. Whatever, man. Let's get back to business, though. We're an ideas company. We're an ideas show. You're the ideas guy. The latest great idea to come from the brain of John Henry Feidelberg is brought to you by Screwball. Screwball whiskey.
Oh, I'd love a Screwball.
Oh, how good would that be? A little whiskey on the rocks right now. Peanut butter flavored whiskey. How good does that sound right now?
I'm drinking a beer and it's just making me heavy. I don't know why. I said this last night to you while we were at the game. I'm like, I don't get why I drink beers because like they make me heavy.
Drink liquor, drink seltzer, man. Yep. Yeah. Well, the Screwball whiskey is the perfect combination where you can still get some flavor in, and it's not, I'm still not a guy who likes to choke down, harsh liquors. So I like a little bit of flavoring, and nothing better than a little savory. Savory, the word? No, I guess it's sweet. Sweet peanut butter. You can mix it up with grape juice and have a peanut butter and
no, peanut butter is savory.
Is it savory? I thought sweet and savory
the jam would be the sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, the jello, the grape
juice. I feel
juice
like peanut butter is it's creamy and sweet and savory.
No, I
don't know what savory means. I thought like a steak is
like pretzels are savory.
Okay.
When you talk sweet and savory, the chocolate is the sweet. The
pretzel
peanut
would be
is the savory.
Okay. So either way, peanut butter is delicious. How about that?
Yep.
And you can mix it with grape juice. But I'll be honest, grape juice, who has grape juice sitting around? If you do, it's a great idea. But grape juice is tough to come by.
Crazy town.
Crazy town. Who has a Welch's grape soda sitting around to mix it up with? If you do, go nuts. But anything that has a little bit of sweetness to it, the screwball peanut butter will go well with it. So you can also drink it straight because it's 70 proof, so a little bit less, so it still gets the job done, but takes the edge off. You got the flavoring in there. Please enjoy it responsibly. 35% alcohol by volume. Mix it up, drink it straight. If you are looking for a new flavor, because I feel like you got to switch it up. If you've been dabbling in the alcoholic spirits for, let's say you're 30, 35, 40, whatever, you've been drinking for like 20, 25 years, you got to switch it up every now and then. So when a new flavor comes along, it's revolutionary. So get yourself some Screwball whiskey. Screwball whiskey, the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available nearly everywhere. At 70 proof, Screwball peanut butter whiskey is the perfect shot or perfect addition to your favorite cocktail. Pick it up at your local store or ask for it at your favorite bar or restaurant. If you're ready to get screwed, go to screwballwhiskey.com for more info. Enjoy responsibly. Advertisement I'm going to say advertisement from now on. Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Marcos, California. Whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color, 35% alcohol by volume. Revolutionary liquor for a revolutionary man. John Henry Feidelberg. I feel like you're like a modern-day Da Vinci.
You think so?
Yeah, Feidelberg Da Vinci over here.
I disagree, but...
You got ideas, brother. What's wrong?
Soundtracks for books.
Soundtracks for books.
It's probably the smartest thing I've ever said. I was telling people last night at the...
you spilled your beer?
No, not totally. I was telling people last night at the Celtics game, the Heat game. We saw the Danettes. We saw Paulie Pabst, Perloff, Seaton. They're all there.
Love those guys. One of the other crews out there that I think
incredibly cool dudes.
Love them.
Fucking awesome dudes.
I love the Flagrant 2 crowd. I love the Dan Patrick crowd and us. I feel like one day we should all fight in a parking lot like an anchor man.
Yeah. But I immediately grabbed that. I was like, yo, you read, right? To Perloff?
Yeah, of course he does.
And he was like, yeah, I'm an adult human.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read.
Valid point by you, but also valid response by him.
And he's like, I was like, soundtracks for books. I thought of it on the flight down here. I'm reading Tattoos of Auschwitz right now. It's an incredible book. About halfway through. It's very, very good. Very sad.
It's a poorly titled book.
It sounds like...
Makes it sound like, hey, I don't know.
The tattoos.
Come get your tattoos.
Yeah. The tattoos. But nah, I
don't call the Jewish tattoos... they're not tattoos. They're death brandings.
Yeah, they're not good.
It's like, come on.
But it's a great book. But I was reading on the plane, and on planes, things get loud. The guy next to me kept coughing. Infuriating. The maddest I've ever been. I was like, dude, do you need a tissue? What do you... you can't just be continuously coughing. Something has to happen.
Was he covering his mouth and shit?
Not, but it was. They weren't even big enough that he would need to cover his mouth. He's like,
we almost feel like they're faking it.
Right. I'm like, what are you doing, man? But it got so much that I had to put music on, right? You can't listen to lyrics because then you can't really read.
I agree.
And so I put on instrumentals. But while I was listening to instrumentals, I was like, listen, why don't we have soundtracks for books?
Love this idea.
Where they There's music that goes to the beat of what you're doing.
I've kind of been doing this by accident over the years. When I write like a serious blog, I'll put up a YouTube and I say press play as you read.
Yes.
So I did it recently with the Manish Mehta burner, where I played like it was actually I went on YouTube and I looked up the soundtrack to Clue. And so it was like this mystery music. I was like, we're talking about a mystery, so listen to this as you read. And I realized that's what I'm doing. Now let's make it official.
You have 3 options, right? You got slow reader, regular reader, fast reader, and then at the end of either every not page break, but sometimes there's like a symbol put where it's just like the chapter changes kind of deal.
It's like maybe not a chapter, but it's just like we're changing point of views or settings or whatever. Yeah.
So every one of those or every chapter, the song stops. So you never fall that far behind.
Okay.
If you get fucked up, we'll catch up in 2 pages.
Now wait a minute. When you're talking about slow reader, fast reader, all that shit, you're talking about you press play and you read your book, right?
Yep.
Because you're a book guy. You like the tangible paper. If you do this on like a Kindle, it can just all be synced up.
Right.
You don't even have to worry about speed.
True.
Your book just the book knows from this page to this page, play this song, and if they're slow, you just loop it. You just keep going. And if they're fast, you just cut to the next song.
That's I hadn't even thought about that.
Because I knew you because you're a paper guy.
I'm a huge paper guy.
But as long as it's instrumental, right? But the rest of the world's onto their Kindle and their Amazon, this and that. So if
I just feel like you don't read things. Like I just read it differently when it's on tech.
I agree.
Right? Like I've had, and I'm saving it open, the tab on my phone, open for Wednesday, 3 days now. A GQ article about Kobe, which I'm sure is unbelievable. And I can't wait to read it. But also, I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, well, because if you're on your phone, you're doing all the other bullshit on your phone. You're not looking into anything else. But if you're like, I'm gonna go read my book now, you go pick it up. But I think you can do it both ways. I think most of the world has probably embraced the Kindle side of things, though. So you're good electronically, and if not, you just have a speed thing.
Yeah, I think it's so dumb that we don't.
Now, let me ask you this though. When there's a romantic moment, you have romantic music, and a mysterious moment, and a dramatic moment. There's a lot of times that books are just like, meh.
I think you just have.
Do you just have like a what do you play?
Nondescript sound in the background. Just like, I think you can
What about like sounds?
Yeah, you can have sound.
So like if they're outside, you're gonna hear birds and shit.
Yep. I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think there are ways.
So it's not necessarily music.
I give broad ideas.
Audio, yeah.
I don't want to get specifics. I give broad ideas, and I think.
Now, what about if like there's like a romance book and you write like a sex scene? Are we just gonna play like some fucky like slapping and like moaning and shit?
No, because I'll tell you what. If you're reading
then you gotta want to jerk off.
If you're reading a book that like when it's describing sex, it's like longer than a sentence. That's a weird ass book.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be associated with it.
But people do read those books where they're like, he gently caressed my nipple as he like he entered my, like.
John Feilberg doesn't read those books unless he's jerking his dick.
I was gonna say you love erotica, bruh.
For eroticism, not for fun.
I feel like you could get people all boned up if you're playing some porn noises as you fucking read.
You know what else I decided on that plane?
What?
It's a running theory I've had for a while now. I think drinks on planes are always free, and they just tell you that they're free.
The fuck does that mean?
So they're supposed to cost money.
Alcoholic drinks cost money.
Right.
Right?
I don't know if I've ever paid for one. And every time I get one, they're like, just you usually have to pay for that.
I mean, I've given my credit card to a fucking flight attendant before. What are you talking about?
I mean,
You've never had to do that?
I might have done it once.
I mean, you're just getting free drinks then. You're getting hooked up.
Yeah, but I think, yes, I am.
I mean, that's not happening to me, bro.
I think they hook up most people.
What? What am I? Am I the only one?
Almost every single time. I've never paid for a drink.
Do you know what he's talking about? Do you pay for drinks on a plane?
I pay for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I've literally
right now I feel like John is like the hot chick who's like, you pay to get into the club, like you pay for your own drugs. I pay for my drinks, man.
No, I think drinks on planes are usually free. I think
you have this new. You are the most confident, unconfident person in the world. You're just saying things these days, and you're just like, nah, that's true. You're good.
I noticed you were sick of my takes about Sunday when we got here, and you're like, your takes are getting out of control. And it was the calamari thing, which I still stand by.
Well, no, I have no problem with your takes. You're expressing your takes. There's a time and a place, John. Podcast, yes. At the dinner table, when Roan just ordered calamari, to be like, fucking anybody who orders calamari is an idiot. I'm like,
yeah, but I love
that
Roan.
person
Like,
just ordered it.
If it was like,
but Roan was like, wait, what? What do you mean? And I was like, don't mind him. I now have to explain my buffoon friend's take.
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
It's just a whole thing.
If Roan thought that, then I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. Like, I wouldn't do that in front of someone I wasn't comfortable with. Like,
no, I didn't.
If I was sitting down at the table,
but they were like, wait, what's wrong with that? What the fuck? And then you got to explain.
I thought Roan understood it was just busting his balls. But anyway, yeah, you get free drinks on planes.
I'm one of the best squirters like this in the game.
Incredibly good at that.
I'm like Cytheria.
I was not bringing it up out of principle because you're too good at it.
So fucking good at it. And I can do the 1-2 where you capture the water and squeeze out. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you squirting water out of that? I can't see, but if you're squirting water, that's oh my god. That's amazing.
It's my only talent. I don't think I have any talent. That's my talent. I can squirt water in the bathtub.
You have talent, for sure. For sure.
Next time we go to KFC Radio Live, I'm just gonna have a bowl of water and be like, hey guys, look at this. Hey, that joke bombed. Pow, 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 pow. This is the greatest show. Like a goddamn circus act. We squirting. Look, it's a fucking Cytheria out here.
It's really impressive.
Oh man. Books, soundtrack for books.
So
here's the thing. Not exactly up Penn National's alley, but I do believe we've always kind of been this way, but now I think especially so with this sort of backing. I mean, we can just do anything now. I feel like we can call up somebody and be like, "Send me your finest soundtrack bookman." You know what I mean? Like, get me to market with soundtrack books.
Yeah, we probably can't.
Although I do get the feeling that I could be like, hello, is this Penn National? And they'd be like, is this Dave or Dan? I'd be like, no. They'd be like, click. We might need to work some inroads there with the Penn people, but we're gonna get to the soundtrack bookman before this is over. I promise you that. All right, we got one more ad. We got like one more segment. Or can we can't really do voicemails here, can we? We can.
I can play it off my phone.
Okay. All right. What's the ad?
Simply Safe.
I have a pee.
What? Just fucking pee.
I almost just got up out of the fucking hot tub to pee. That's outrageous.
I was really just gonna go pull your dick out and like pee in the bush.
I was gonna go downstairs. I was gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
my favorite pool peeing story. I was in Arizona, Talking Stick. I went for a bachelor party, and we went to a pool party that was, it was Arizona, so it was like a bootleg Vegas party.
Right.
But same idea. And there was some hot chicks, and we were like a whole crew of bachelor party guys were talking to them, and I mean, I had been in the pool drinking for hours. I was all pruny and shit. I was probably drunk and like visibly wet, like pruny. And we're talking to these girls, and somebody started talking about peeing in the pool. And I was like, "Yep, I'm talking to this one girl. I'm like, you peed in the pool. You don't even know you haven't even gone to the bathroom." And she just looked at me and goes, "Where's the bathroom?" And I was like, I literally just went under the water. I was like, I don't know where it is. She was like, it's right back there. I was like, fuck.
Where's that then?
You got me. All right, voicemails time. It's brought to you by Simply Safe. Simply Safe is the #1 home security company on the planet Earth. And I say #1 for, 3 reasons. Number one, they keep you safe. That's the most important part, right? Your family, your belongings, your house, all that shit, they're going to keep you safe. Number 2, it's not a technological nightmare like set up with lasers and sensors and all sorts of shit like that. It's a simple system linked up to the fire department, the police department, the authorities, and but at the same time, it's still a smart system where, let's say, your kid breaks something in the house. They know they can differentiate between like a burglar breaking a window and you dropping a plate in your house or something like that. So there's not going to be any false alarms, only real alarms, and they're going to keep you safe. Number 3, it's affordable. It's not going to lock you in for long term. You can go month to month. No long term tricks or commitments. You can just go to simplysafe.com/KFC radio right now. It's SIMPLI safe.com/KFC radio, and you can start a 60-day risk-free trial along with free shipping. So go to simplysafe.com/KFC radio and start protecting you, your loved ones, and your belongings today.
How long has this been?
Probably pretty long. We'll just do a couple.
It's been an hour already?
Felt longer. I would have guessed longer than that.
You think so? No, I think
you feel like it's short?
No, I think that's.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's been an hour.
Yeah.
Now we'll do what three voicemails.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Using only the knowledge that you can gather on Google, how far back in time would you have to go to be smarter than a doctor of that time?
It's convoluted, but I think I understand it. First of all, I have to give a shout out to Wallow267. Did you hear him on the radio?
No.
I didn't actually get a chance to listen to it, but it's like I am like setting aside time at some point this week to listen to this segment because I find it fascinating. He got out of jail. Probably not got out of jail. He probably exaggerated a little bit, but he was in jail and needed to be told what Google was.
Oh, yes.
You could make the argument that there's been probably a handful of times in history. I would probably say 3 times off the top of my head, and probably several, many, many more, because I'm not a historian here. We got to get DeStefano and Giannis Pappas to weigh in on it. But I think missing the 17 years he missed is arguably like the craziest 17. And I would say like maybe like the Industrial Revolution and maybe like the Renaissance.
Yeah,
those are like the 3 times in history.
That's a great point.
Renaissance, industrial, and information technology revolution. Like Wallow went to jail and was talking on like flip phones and using like Prodigy, and came out to iPhone 10, Google, Netflix, LinkedIn, Uber, all of social media, blogs, podcasts. Like the world as he knew it was completely different.
That is
fucking fascinating.
That is crazy.
I mean, how like. Describe to me Google. I mean, it's probably not that hard, but like, what would you say? It's just like
you look up stuff.
A technological database of information. I'd be like, well, who makes it? I don't know. Like fucking
Google makes
other
it.
people put stuff on the internet and Google directs you.
I don't know how to describe Google, but I don't know, man. Just go to google.com and just put in whatever you want.
Shout out to Google. Fucking Bing, Yahoo, all that shit just didn't work. I feel like it's the name Google.
See, but also, here's the deal too. Like, we're sucking our own dicks about, Barstool Sports and the valuation it has. Bing is worth so much more. Like,
that's true. I know. I think about that sometimes. The failures of
it's a hundreds of millions of dollars company.
Well, it's like when like Apple, has taken over the world, and it's like Windows,
right?
Like PCs took a hit. Yeah, okay, bro.
Fucking
every company in the world.
IBM is like the number one company in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're just quietly it. I bet they love it. Like, everyone can talk about Apple and fucking Google and shit like that. Like,
I agree.
We're number one.
I've always said, I've always wanted to be like Jack Johnson, like a rich guy who's awesome, but like really could walk down the street. And they're kind of that of companies. Like they're not talking about it, but we're still billionaires.
That fucking it is like it's like it's that no one cared about the company. It's a failure. No, they were $700 million.
But honestly,
I don't know. I don't know what the exact number is. But.
Can you Google real quick? Like the word, like, is Bing really like $1 billion company? Because
Bing's owned by Microsoft, so yes, but I don't know about Bing.
I feel like Bing on its own should be worth $300,000. No, I know that, but I'm saying that is like that should be what it's worth. Like, who in the world goes to Bing.com?
I do not know, but I just know.
Right, but I mean, like,
it works.
How is this even possible? Anyway, this question, a little bit weird, but using all the information of Google right now, if I went, right now, doctors are smarter than me, obviously. 10 years ago, doctors are smarter than me. 100 years ago, with my information now, doctors still smarter than me. 200, 300, how many years, how many 100 years?
Doctors were smarter than me the entire... There's no time where a doctor was not smarter than me.
But...
I have no knowledge. I have no information. There's nothing.
But I mean, it would require work. So that's also the second half of this question. Like, how long am I going to sit there on Google and research? Probably not a lot. But actually, you know what? I think you say you bring Google with you. Okay, so you go back to like the 1600s, and a doctor is like, this guy, they used to like let you bleed on purpose. They'd be like, this guy has an infection. Get all the blood out of his body. I would be like, no. You gotta I don't know, fucking Google what to actually do.
Oh,
you know what I
mean?
I
see.
So I'm smarter than you right now.
Oh, then I don't think it's that far then.
How far do you think it's gotta go? I
misunderstood the question. I thought it was just like my
intelligence.
Brain.
Yeah. No, but like you would have access to it. So like, would it be? You think 100 years ago you're smarter than doctors? I think 100 years ago.
I think closer than that. I think I'm smarter than doctors like 5 years ago. I think I'm smart.
disagree.
I think I'm smarter than doctors.
I mean, they have Google too.
I think I'm smarter than doctors.
I mean, you at least got to go pre-Google, bro. Because doctors have Google too.
Now, but
They have
no,
access to the same information you have.
I'm smarter than doctors post 2000s.
Why?
I just am.
Because of Google?
No, I think they just did things that were wrong, and I know that.
So, like Dr. James Andrews in the year
Not
2000.
not all of them, but if I wanted to go
well,
back,
I mean, the other discussion here is like I could find you a stupid doctor. I could find you a
Right
stupid
now,
lawyer.
yeah.
There's many dumb people in every profession
Yeah.
who are probably wildly successful. I mean, like Dr. James Andrews was around in the 2000s. So you're not smarter than him.
no.
So you're just banking on finding a dumb doctor.
Yeah, I'm smarter than the doctors who finished last in medical school.
I don't know.
Yes, I do. I am. If you finish last in school, I'm smarter than you, because
Any school, law school, doctor school,
doesn't matter what kind
whatever.
of school.
Doctor school.
Because like
You're a fucking moron, Kevin. Doctor school.
you weren't even smart enough to drop out.
Yeah, that's true
And I
too.
was.
That's true.
I knew nothing was happening with me. I dropped out.
One of the proudest moments I've ever been as a friend, I had a buddy who dropped out of law school because he was not doing well. In law school, if you don't finish in like the top 10%, it's like you're not getting a job.
What's the
Get the fuck
point?
out of here.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not cutting it. I'm out of here. I was like, good for
Dude,
you, bro.
I was reading an article in the
Self-awareness.
Washington Post the other day about a lawyer she's now like 4 years graduate from law school. Makes like $40,000.
Yeah, well, that has to do with healthcare and all that shit. Now, like becoming a doctor and spending all that money on school is dumb. Actually, you know what? Right now, we're smarter than all the doctors trying to become doctors right now. All of them, because they're going to medical school and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for a gig that's going to get you like 130 grand. You might as well peddle smut. Next up.
Wait. Oh, never mind. I was like, what was the question?
No, you answered
It was
it.
the doctor thing.
Bing is over $1 billion.
Unbelievable.
What?
Bing is over $1 billion.
I knew it. I knew
Isn't
it.
Google, is Google like pushing trillion? Is that right? Is that crazy?
It doesn't sound crazy.
I feel like
I feel like
Bing being
answer, but
I feel like Bing being $1 billion is still like a massive failure story. It's like billionaires.
Hey, KFC, Feits, super producer DC. Quick question, simple question. I went to a family party recently, and there's like 30, 40 people there, but everybody had to take their shoes off at the door. So it's like a family party, and everybody's walking around either, socks on, barefoot, what have you. I get it if it's like a one-on-one type of deal, but I'm not even the type of guy to, make people take their shoes off when they come through the door. I get it, there's snow on the ground right now. I just want to know, like, where's that line? Where is it weird where you gotta, like...
I'll tell you the
make
line. It's
people
what he
take
just
their
said. If you
shoes
show up
off?
to someone's house and it's like a muddy snowstorm, rainstorm, and you're like obviously visibly going to be like tracking shit all over their floor, so you take your shoes off.
right.
Otherwise, we're grown adults. We keep our shoes on.
You keep your shoes on. It's fucking crazy. In fact, so my super, who so I did my own laundry recently.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to the Super Bowl. I needed some underpants. I pooped in most of them, and
People loved that story and hated that story all at once.
It was a great story.
Sweet and savory.
It was, and honestly, like every tweet about that story meant so much more than any tweet about like Barstool sale. That's all I care about. Like all I care about is making people laugh.
Yep.
It really. I want to make money.
Here's a hypothetical for you, real quick. How much money would you need to make to be like the not funny guy at Barstool, to be like a tech guy at Barstool?
I don't know.
The number has to be astronomical to me.
Like,
I got nothing if I'm not the funny guy.
I can't even imagine that.
I got
Like, I
nothing.
wouldn't want to do. Like all I want to do is like. It's so much fun making people laugh.
Yep.
And every single tweet.
Isn't
where it's
that
like, this is
inherently a little
hilarious.
narcissistic for two guys who like openly hate themselves? It's like, come here.
Oh,
Come
I'm
like,
extraordinarily narcissistic.
but also like social anxiety. It's so funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no.
It's like you're uncomfortable in a room, but you want to make all these people laugh. at the same time.
Nothing
It's
about
weird.
any of us makes any sense.
No, it really doesn't. That's why
it's
we
like
work.
that tweet that kid sent. It was like, individually your body parts are attractive, but together they don't make sense.
Did you say that on the podcast yet?
I don't know. I forget. But whatever. At some point, this kid tweeted me and he said, all your body parts are attractive, but when you put them together, they don't work. And he's right.
It's the meanest thing ever.
And like that's
Mr.
like how
Potato
most
Head,
of my
yeah.
like brain is too. Like everything I think, like it makes sense, but
yeah,
it doesn't.
No, absolutely. You're a walking contradiction.
But what were we talking about?
So the shoes and being funny. You said, oh, you made people laugh at the poop story. You just want to be the funny guy.
Right.
I think that was it. And now back to the shoes. You said you drew a line with the shoes or something? No, he said you draw a line.
What was the question?
About
Where do you draw a line?
So
Ow! My fucking stupid ass super.
yes.
Okay.
There we go. We landed that plane.
So like he lives down there with his fucking wife and kid, and his fucking stupid ass kid always has his scooter outside and his sneakers and the whole family sneakers outside, and like I wanted to shit in them because it's like
Outside the door?
yeah, like you deserve it because
hate that.
you're such an asshole. You're such an awful person that leaving your
Are they
shoes out
Asian?
here. Huh?
Are they Asian?
No.
Weird.
No, I think they're like some kind of
I
European.
feel like that's an Asian
But
thing.
it's like an Eastern European, like they're not
Yeah.
fucking Parisian.
Yeah.
They're like from, like Bratislava.
Yeah.
Well,
Bratislava.
we both knew.
Yeah, buddy.
Bratislavian.
Yeah, buddy. Shout out
But yeah,
Eurotrip.
like I want to like fucking piss in his shoes or something. I'm like, dude, you're such a dickhead. If you are the kind
know
of
what?
person who makes people take their shoes off, they deserve.
Well,
to be
that's the
beaten.
thing. You want to take you and your family take shoes off? Whatever. Okay, weirdos. Little kids, sure, take your shoes off. Grown adults, you fucking keep your shoes on, bruh. You keep your shoes and your socks on. Word to Sebastian Maniscalco. He's got the best set ever on this. Grown men with their toes out at like a dinner party. What the fuck are we doing? Why do I have
It's
to
a
do
curb
that?
episode.
Curb episode? Yeah. I mean,
Curb's got an episode of it was-
it's one of the most, I think, you know what? It's like, it's one of those things. It's like, are people doing this? Like, it feels so universally agreed upon that the only thing I'll give an exception to is I'm not there yet with this, but I can understand if you're like a stay-at-home mom and you like clean the house all day and then you're having a dinner party and like you just clean up after your kids and then people are just gonna ruin the place again. If that was me, I could maybe see myself being like, I know that I'm being an asshole and I don't fucking care. Take your shoes off because I've been here for 75 straight days. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, fine. Tell everyone to fuck off. If you're just a regular person who's like, oh, we just redid the floors, take your shoes off, suck a dick. Final voicemail of the day. Final voicemail of the episode. What do we got?
What's up, KFC Feits? Quick question for you. So, I am, a college student, and I only have one testicle.
One testicle?
And, there's no problems because of it. Like, everything works.
He just
fine,
answered me.
everything's normal. It just,
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
exactly normal. When am I supposed to, like, bring this up to a girl? Do I have to? I don't know. I haven't really
don't think I've
figured
ever
out
thought
the
about
timing of
this.
it, so- Yeah,
What is it? Is he worried about bringing up one nut?
Yeah.
Well, we're in a very specific situation right here. Casey has to be sitting up here.
What do you think about a guy with one nut?
Like, if you were dating a guy or you were seeing a guy who had one testicle, would he have to tell you before he took his pants off or something?
Would you notice right away?
Do what?
Wait, I don't know if you would. I bet you wouldn't notice right away.
No, I think you would notice.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
sometimes-
I've never run into that, but I feel like it would be something that I might want a little bit of a warning about.
Would you be
Yeah?
like mad? Would you be like,
No, I wouldn't be mad. No, but I mean, I feel like if drunk, no. Like if we're like drinking and hooking up, like probably not. But like I do feel like there's situations where like, hey, just so you know, don't be alarmed.
Well, I also think
Like
that if you're
uncircumcised
gonna like,
penises could also be in that category.
No, you don't have to worry about it.
you have to disclose that.
No. I'm not saying you disclose it, but you have to understand that if you don't, a girl might have like a reaction to it.
Yeah, that's true. I think you know that though, and I think you probably know that with one nut too. I feel like if you're like dating someone or you're gonna get serious with them, it's more about you probably have a story that you're not telling them. Like, did
Let
you
me
have
tell you-
cancer? Did you like is there an injury? Like
Right.
you're just. It's not that you're not telling them about the
What,
specific.
you
You're
calling
just
a wood chipper? Like,
yeah,
why do you
you're
have
just
one
not.
nut?
You're just not giving me a story that you should be telling me about yourself. But
It's
I feel
more-
like.
I feel like it's more like if a girl is going to get mad, you shouldn't date her anyways. But that
Yeah,
it
that's
wouldn't.
true.
It's also so I was hooking up with a guy, and we were only hooking up drunk, so I never noticed. One morning, he was asleep, went down under the covers, found out he was uncircumcised that way, and it did shock me a little bit.
How many times
How many
before
times-
you knew?
How many times?
Only like
Casey,
3
how
or
many
4.
times was that penis inside you before you realized that?
I'm sorry. I feel like uncircumcised penises, like you don't know unless
Did you
they're
blow
soft.
him?
Look,
Well,
Casey.
Yeah.
I've watched porn. I can tell you straight up.
Yeah, I know.
Uncircumcised dick, circumcised dick.
But
I
I
know
just
when.
said I was drunk, and it was
yeah,
like at
but
night.
like still, like, I watch porn drunk too.
John, you can't tell me that if it's dark in a room and you're hooking up drunk after a bar and his dick is hard, that I would know if it was uncircumcised or not. You can't tell me that.
I can't tell you anything. I can tell you what I would do, and while I was sucking that dick, I would notice.
I mean, I found out very quickly.
That's
John.
a funny thing. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and then he was like, yeah, my parents are real assholes, and they just didn't circumcise, and then I
mean,
just didn't care anymore.
if you don't hook your kids up with the little snip,
Yeah, but
you're
the
an
one
asshole.
ball thing, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't bother me, but I do feel like it would shock me at first. I think my first thing would be like, okay, we're not hooking up right now. I need to know what the fuck happened.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know
I'd be
if you would know
distracted.
if it's like if you're just like at a bar hitting on a girl and it's going well and you go home. You do not need to disclose that.
No, I'd agree with that.
I feel like sometimes they get like lost. Sometimes you don't even know. You ever put it like inside?
What?
You ever push your nut like inside? Like right now, my nut's inside me. I can like push them up into like where like my
It's not
fupa would
inside
be.
of me. I'm pushing it around, but like
Like right now, it's like where my fupa would be.
the only way you can put it is somewhere is like you put it in your asshole.
No, you're going the wrong way. This is
You
like
push it up.
where like your pubic bone is, like that pelvis bone. I can push it like in between my bone and my like beneath my belly button, like way lower than my belly button is where my nuts can go. Maybe that's a hidden trick of mine. There you go.
No, I think that was in my ass.
That's it. The podcast is over.
I love this fucking
It's so
show.
funny. $450 million talking about putting your nuts in your ass. What a world.
I mean, how do you put my nuts in my asshole?